Is Aurin Chowdhury. I'm the Minneapolis City Council representing the 12th Ward and the chair of Intergovernmental Relations. Today is Friday, February 6th, and we are doing another Metro Ice Out report. The Metro Ice Out report is a place where public officials gives updates to our community as we're under this ice occupation and invasion. We know that right now, even though there has been statements from Border Czar Tom Homan about a drawdown, our community is still feeling major impacts and is not seeing a drawdown. And we are going to continue to have these updates until we no longer need them. We're unified in our call for ICE out immediately, ICE out now, and justice and accountability for all of our community members that have been impacted. I'm really grateful to the officials that are here today. We're first going to go to Representative Sencer Mura to give us an update from the state and then also from community.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Samantha Sencer Mura, and I am the state representative for District 63A, representing part of South Minneapolis, the Seward and Longfellow neighborhoods, and most of South Minneapolis along the Mississippi River. So we are on day 67 of the federal occupation of our cities and our states by ICE, who has come in and started a reign of terror on our community. As Council Member Chowdhury mentioned, earlier this week, we heard from Border Czar Tom Homan in a press conference that there would be a drawdown of 700 federal agents who have been in our communities. If that is true, and we have not seen on the ground the evidence of that, if that was true, we would still have 2,300 too many agents terrorizing our communities. And so we are really clear as officials, elected officials at the state, and standing with our community that 2,300 agents in Minnesota is too many. We want ICE out of our state, and we also don't want them to go somewhere else. We know that even this week, after that announcement, we continue to see ICE not following the law, not following our city and state policies. We have seen ICE at parks. The park where I take my son to go sledding has had multiple ICE sightings this week, including a time where they pepper sprayed community. We continue to see ICE at our school buildings, taking our students. There was a horrific story about two students seeing each other across a cafeteria at the Dilly, place where they are holding immigrants that have been detained in Texas. Two students, elementary school students from Minnesota, who recognized each other in that facility, that were used to seeing each other across a cafeteria, seeing another student all the way in Texas who had also been detained. The stories that are coming out of our schools are heartbreaking. Some of our school districts have taken the step to actually sue the federal government for what is happening at our schools, and we stand behind them in that legal action. We have students across the metro who continue to be engaged in remote learning because they don't feel safe going to school. The reports from some school districts are, up to a fifth of the students that are engaging in remote learning. We know that when students are not able to come to school, they are not able to access their full education. That is certainly a lesson that we learned from the COVID-19 pandemic and the disruption to this school year. We are going to see the effects of that for years to come. There have also been multiple stories this week really about how our justice system is breaking under the weight of all of the cases that are coming out of ICE's illegal actions. We have seen multiple people leaving the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota. There was this week where, an attorney for the office really just said this is not tenable, the workload that she has having to represent really all of ICE's unlawful actions in court. On the legal and justice front, I do want to give some good news, which is that last night we did receive word that the BCA is going to be able to do a joint, be part of the investigation with the federal government. We see that as a strong step towards accountability for Alex Preddy and his family. So I do want to mention that. Finally, we know that it is February 6th, and rent for many people across our state was due on February 1st. There's deep concern about people from our community and their ability to pay rent, given really the crisis and state of emergency that we are in. We know that communities across our state are calling on the governor and calling on the state to step up and meet this moment of emergency to ensure that people can stay in their homes. We are supportive, I am supportive of an eviction moratorium, declaring a peacetime emergency and ensuring that people can access the rental assistance that they need. And that is certainly something that I will be working on at the state level when we go back to session on February 17th. When we go back to session, the House DFL and the Senate DFL are committed to introducing a slate of bills all related to stopping ICE, getting them out of Minnesota, and ICE accountability. We know that in this time of crisis, the state needs to step up, protect, and care for people, but it is also our job to shine a light, hold a microphone to the horror that is happening in our communities to ensure that this kind of federal government invasion never happens anywhere again. So please look out for the introduction of those bills, things like banning mass law enforcement, making sure that law enforcement is not in unmarked vehicles, making sure that ICE cannot come into sensitive spaces such as childcare, places of worship, schools, and hospitals, and ensuring that we have accountability for the things that have happened since ICE has been in our community. Finally, I just want to end by saying thank you to the Minnesotans who have stepped up during this time. We know that there is a narrative trying to be painted by some that, we here in Minneapolis are scary, that we are trying to go against our government, when in reality, we know that at this moment is really just neighbors who are stepping up for each other. I am guided by the last words of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. The last words of Renee Good are, "I'm not mad at you." And the last words of Alex Preddy were, "Are you okay?" Those are the sentiments of Minnesotans. We care for one another, and we want to make sure that everyone is okay. So I will be following those words in the continued days. And thank you to all my neighbors who continue to look out for one another. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Representative Sencer Mura. Next, we'll get an update from Hennepin County. We'll go to Director Leah Kaiser.
Hi, thank you. Oh, I'm trying to move my notes here. Good afternoon. I'm Leah Kaiser. I'm the Director of Behavioral Health here in Hennepin County. With the continued mental and emotional impact and trauma that our residents and community members are facing due to the federal presence of ICE, we just wanted to take some time to share some available county mental health services for all of you. The first is that we offer a wide range of children's mental health services. So in that, we both operate and contract a wide variety of supports that are available. These services include everything from, mental health assessments, individual and family therapy, in-home counseling, skills training, day treatment, and case management. The goal of these supports is to help improve a child's and their family's social and emotional development and well-being, the relationships with their family and friends, and their ability to function effectively at home, in school, and in the community. We can help address your child's mental health needs. The options available include getting your child assessed. We know that what is happening is really creating some pretty significant trauma in many of our communities, and it can be very difficult for families and community to sort out what's happening with their child, whether or not their child needs some more professional help or just skills building with their families. We can help with that. We want to make sure that we're able to help you identify the options regardless of your insurance coverage or your ability to pay. And then we also know that while our communities are facing sort of this emergent need that's happening, that is triggering on many levels, we know in the mental health arena that the consequences, the the impact of what we are experiencing today is going to have some pretty long-term mental health and well-being consequences as well. And so some of the services are designed to address both the immediate needs in communities, but also we know that in 3 months, in 6 months, in 2 years, there may need to be some continued support, and we have a range of options available as well. For more information, we will provide for you a telephone number to the Hennepin County Social Service front door, and some email addresses that will get you in touch with the right individuals. On the child side, we also have a lot of ongoing conversations, connections with our partners in the school. One of the roles that Hennepin plays is we oversee our school-based mental health programs. Here again, there's a wide range of community agencies that are in schools providing support to the students. We know that many of those students now are working remotely. The providers that we contract with for school-based mental health, and they provide everything again from assessments to ongoing therapeutic services. They are flexible. They're able to both meet in the school, they're able to meet in homes, they're able to meet virtually. So here again, I just want to encourage all of you to reach out to your schools and to make some connections. If you have young people that are in the schools or connected to schools, there is mental health services that are available through that avenue as well. For adults, we offer a variety of supports that include both walk-in. We have a behavioral health center that is located at 1800 Chicago that operates 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. There's no appointment necessary. It doesn't matter if you have insurance or not. Residents are certainly welcome to come in and receive a variety of care. Those services range from, again, assessments, case coordination, peer specialists, linkages to housing, vocational services. There's residential programming on site at 1800 Chicago as well, where there is in operation a 16-bed residential mental health crisis stabilization program. We also have withdrawal management that is residential, and then we have a wide range of recovery programs on site. Additionally, the county operates a mental health center. That center serves both adults and adolescents and children and their families who have pretty serious mental illness and struggle. They may also struggle with substance abuse. In all of our supports, we recognize the importance of an integrated model where if you're a young person, we recognize that you are part of a family system, and so we work very closely with families. And if you're an adult, we also recognize that you have a wide range of social connections, and so we do try to work not only with the individual, but with their natural supports. And we understand that mental illness, both in an acute environment as well as in an ongoing environment, may also lead folks to also struggle with substances. And so as we look to support you and your families, we recognize that we kind of come at this through an integrated model between both mental health and substance use or addiction supports, as well as a whole variety of what we would call non-clinical, non-traditional interventions as well. The county also has a North Point Health and Wellness Center that is located in North Minneapolis. North Point's culturally responsive behavioral health therapists offer a wide range of services. They have interpreters on site and help residents in all financial circumstances. They offer individual and group therapy, therapy for children 5 and under, medically assisted treatment for opioid addiction, The county works, I mentioned earlier, with a number of other types of mental health clinics that are affiliated with us. I know that some of these resources will be pushed out to you, but I'll highlight or mention a couple of them. There's a Spanish-speaking mental health center called CLUES. There's also Community University Healthcare Center, the Family Partnership, Washburn Center for Children, Hennepin Healthcare Adult Psychiatry Clinic, MPSI Psychotherapy Center, Volunteers of America, Walk-in Counseling Center, You Are Able Emotional Health and Emotional Health Services. There's just a wide range of supports that either the county operates or we contract with or work closely with community agencies to try to bring about a comprehensive support network in a very large ecosystem to address what's happening in our communities. I know that this has been mentioned as well, but given sort of the heightened mental health crisis that is happening in many of our communities, I did just want to take a couple of minutes. It's been stated before, but I think it's helpful for a reminder. The county operates emergency mental health services through a mobile call center called COPE. That's available 24/7, and there are mental health professionals that respond to your crisis calls. If necessary, at your request, we can provide a mobile response team out to your home or to an environment that meets your needs, and we will provide stabilization services on an ongoing basis. There's also a traumatic event response team that if you are interested in having a group of mental health professionals come and meet with you in community and a group of individuals around, psychological first aid or emotional healing, that is also available. And then also on the emergency mental health spectrum, we operate in partnership with 3 community agencies, a program called Family Response and Stabilization. That is also available 24/7. You can call at any time. We refer to this environment as both clinical and non-clinical. You could call or share this information around, if there's a need in your household with your young person, your child or youth. It could be as simple as you're just having a hard time with a family member, or there's a change going on at home. If there's anger issues, aggression, feeling down or less engaged, having issues at school, children not coming home, feeling overly worried or concerned, this team again will respond 24/7. They will come to your home if you're interested in that. We have those supports available in multiple languages as well. So please reach out if you have any both mental health or emotional or issues with substance abuse. We are happy to provide whatever support is helpful to you, either virtually in your home or in a location that the county operates. There's a couple of websites that we can share that I think will also get pushed out to you.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description.
Would you like me to read those as well, or just put them in the description?
We'll just put it in the description. We're going to move now to the park board report. Thank you so much, Director.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go and get an update from the park board. We're going to go to Commissioner Kay Carvajal Moran.
Yeah, hi everyone. This is Commissioner Kay. I'm with District 5, and our park board colleagues and staff have been in conversations with community. We had a town hall on January 28 where this was encouraged and also brought up by community members such as Roxanne from Parks and Power. And so the dynamic was very much community oriented. In that conversation, we were able to give updates to the community of things that the park board has done. I know that we mentioned that we are making sure that our colleagues and staff are trained. The signs are being put up that there should be no staging happening at our parks. And so I know that at least for the in these conversations, I know that that hasn't been really pushed out, or that message. So that community meeting was, we were able to have that opportunity to communicate back with community of what we're doing. Um, as always, please continue reporting any staging happening at our parks, or any just federal agents at our parks at Immigration MPRB Legal at minneapolisparks.org. I do want to acknowledge that there was an escalation that happened at Powderhorn Park last Sunday. And so I was a commissioner that was on site on that day. And as you know, like I the escalation that is happening in Minneapolis, in our parks, in our city um is unacceptable. The terror and trauma that our communities are facing every morning is like, it's unacceptable. Like when I arrived at Powderhorn Park, there were um throwing tear gas and cans of gas. And so in perception, we are in the winter time, but if that was in the summertime, Powderhorn Park is used by our community members. And so just it's unacceptable that our parks are being used in such a just like war zone way. And so know that commissioners are like, this is our priority, or like all of us care about what's happening in our city. After that escalation that happened on Sunday, we did talk to our admin team. Their community might wonder why there's barriers at the entrance of Powderhorn Park. And so again, just to de-escalate just any further situations that do happen at our parks. I also wanted to highlight something that happened this morning. I know that community members have been asking questions. So there were like a black vehicle that put a camera on Powderhorn Park. I just want to let community know that that was parked by the Minneapolis Police Department. And so it was nice. I know that there were reports that this was ICE, but this was MPD. And I also want to highlight that Commissioner Frederick and I also passed a resolution at the Park Board, also urging Governor Walz to enact an eviction moratorium. And so just know that the Park Board is in solidarity with our community, and we are trying to be responsive for our families, for our young people. I know that we're in the winter time, but we're also starting to prepare for the summertime. I know that um, this occupation is still going, and we just do not know when it will end. And so it's super important that winter, in a way, like we're starting to prepare for that summertime. And so I just want to also like reiterate what my colleagues said. We are beyond grateful to community that continues to show up for patrolling. I went to a community meeting yesterday, and just like the unity and collaboration and what we're building is just beyond beautiful. And so I know that this occupation is very heavy, very burdensome on the body. And so I just want to echo that, like, what we're building in Minneapolis is also inspiring other folks. I know that other park board entities have also reached out, and so that's really beautiful. Well, um like that occupation is something that like we don't want our communities to have, but just I appreciate everyone that is out. And that's a little bit of updates in the park board. Again, we are this is a priority to us, and so we are being creative, and trying to be the best responsive as we can. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Really appreciate the update. I am going to close this out with just an update from the City of Minneapolis and the City Council. Yesterday, the Minneapolis City Council took several actions in regards to the needs that our communities are facing right now under this ICE occupation and invasion. One of the primary needs that we are hearing from community members, especially since it's February 6th today, is their inability to pay rent. We have several community members who are vulnerable or fearful to ICE activity, and they're sheltering in place, right? That's just the reality of our community right now. They're afraid to leave home in fear of being kidnapped or taken, and oftentimes These individuals are parents and they have children that they are responsible. Oftentimes, these individuals have already lost their spouse, who has been kidnapped and then deported. And so we are seeing an unprecedented level of our community members, our neighbors, forming mutual aid networks to create rental assistance networks. And as a city council, we see that government absolutely has a role to play here. And so we have weeks ago called on the governor's office for an eviction moratorium. It is extremely dangerous to have community members who are already unsafe be displaced and evicted out of their home with nowhere to go. We're going to continue to ask for that and push for that. And we're grateful to all of the leaders across government and in our community that have been asking for it. We passed a budget resolution to give $1 million of rental assistance in partnership with the county specifically for Minneapolis neighbors who need it. That is something that we passed with a divided vote, but ultimately it did pass, and now it will go to the mayor's desk, and we are hopeful for his support. We ask community members to share their support for this action. We know that right now, that emergency rental assistance, if there is an eviction filing that does occur, that's the lifeline for community members. We also, in the city of Minneapolis, have a 30-day pre-eviction notice for non-payment of rent, meaning if you aren't able to make your rent, there is a 30-day window that occurs before eviction proceedings begin. We are hoping to pass an action that allows for us to temporarily extend this window to 60 days instead of 30, so community members that are impacted have an opportunity to try to get together the money that they need for rent or get rental assistance. That is a process that we have started that legislation has not passed, but we're asking for community members to come out and share their support for it, share their need. There will be a public hearing opportunity down the line that I will share. And then another action that the Minneapolis City Council is considering is that we know that there's an unprecedented level of impact on our local businesses due to ICE activity. We know that immigrant-owned businesses especially have been impacted. Many have had to close up their doors. Many have had workers that are fearful to come to work and have not returned since. We know businesses across the board where there's been ICE activity in the corridor have experienced upwards of an 80% decrease in their customer base and a high level of revenue being lost. I think Lake Street in particular has been hit really hard, Central Avenue, Broadway, Lowry, all of these cultural corridors that are just a part of the vibrancy of our city. And so we are considering a small business economic relief package that we want to put forward. We're looking at putting forward right now $5 million for local businesses that have been impacted by ICE activity and enforcement. And that will be something that we take up in our upcoming meetings. And those are the major updates that we have coming out of the Minneapolis City Council. Thank you all for tuning in to this Metro ICE Out report. We'll continue doing this until we don't have to do this anymore. The next one will be on Monday, I believe on February 9th at noon. Thank you again for showing up. Stay safe, stay vigilant.